This is a review video on the Tagima TJB-5 bass guitar. I say Tagima because I think it's how it's pronounced. The first time I saw it I went Tagima, but I'm pretty sure from some online research that it's pronounced Tagima. So we'll go with that. But Tagima is a Brazilian company, and they actually make a lot of handmade instruments over there in Brazil, but this is their import line. So this is a bass that's made in China. And this is another one of my everything reviews, so this is a pretty in-depth video. I'm going to talk a lot in this video, but I'm also going to have sound examples, but just wanting you to know up front that there will be some talking explaining the bass. I'm going to go over the bass from head to tail, and we're going to consider everything about the bass, how it feels, how it balances. We're going to take it apart and see what's inside, what the electronics look like. We're basically just going to kind of go over with a fine-tooth comb and try to give you as much information as I can about the bass so that you can make a good buying decision on the bass if it's something that you're interested in. Now, this bass, Tagima, actually the brand, I'd never actually even heard of the brand before until I was actually on Facebook Marketplace, just kind of surfing around, just having fun, looking at used bass guitars, seeing what was around me. And this one popped up and it just caught my eye, and I just thought, that's a really sweet looking little jazz bass, and it kind of checks off all the boxes that I've been looking for. You know, the Olympic white, that's actually white and not yellowish. It's got the, the torque pick guard and maple neck, and just seemed to like really check all the boxes I was looking for. So, and the price was right, so I said, why not? Now, this bass I bought used for $350, I think, $350. I think the list price on them is around $499 right now. I'm recording this video in November 2024. It's already November, wow. So if you're watching this video a year later, a couple years later, obviously the pricing might be, might be a little different at that time. Yeah, the bass is, $350 used, and pretty much from what I've been seeing online, that's kind of roughly around where you'll find this bass price-wise, again, at this time frame that I'm in. And so in that price range, you could definitely say it competes with Squires. And now I like Squires a lot. I actually just recently picked up this Squire over here. It's a 40th anniversary precision bass. Excellent bass. I really like that bass a lot. But I just want to say that this Tagima really competes with Squire very well. So if you're looking for an alternative to just another Squire, you want something a little different, this is something worth considering. And I will say up front that this is actually a fantastic bass. I've used it a lot since I purchased it. I've owned it for about 8 months now, roughly, and it does an excellent job. Now, there are some things about it I do want to point out that I'm not as fond of. Number one, it does have a gloss finish on the neck. However, a Scotch-Brite pad does an excellent job of quickly remedying that sticky feel of the gloss neck, and you can actually get a very nice feeling neck just with some Scotch-Brite pad on the back of the neck, and it works really well. So that fixed that issue, and now it feels really well. It feels really good. The other issue that I really don't like about the bass is the tuners. They're not the best tuners in the world, but they compete with Squire tuners, definitely. And the other thing, though, about the tuners is that they're very heavy, so this bass is like really neck heavy. It really wants to go to the ground. So one of the things I'm definitely going to do with this bass is upgrade it with some ultralight pickups, ultralight tuning pegs, because that'll really help out with the balance of the bass. So other than that, though, stock, it's fantastic. It sounds great. It's actually one of my, this bass really works really good live. It works good in studio too, so this is a really all-around very well-performing bass. It's just a little bit neck heavy currently with these stock tuners. The strings that I have on it, so that you know, these are still the original strings that are on it. When I bought it, I'm actually getting ready to change them. But when I bought it, the seller told me that they were, I believe they're Dunlop Super Brights, and which is a string that I've never used before. And actually, at first, I didn't like them. I felt like they were slipping around under my fingers and kind of hard to pin down. But after a few days of getting used to them, I actually kind of like them. And so it's a nice change since I've got other jazz basses. It's nice to have a different feeling jazz bass than the others. So actually the sound examples that you'll hear on this bass are using Dunlop Super Brights. What else can I tell you about up front? I guess that's the main stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into the review and really kind of get our feet wet on this bass.
All right, so here we have the body of the bass, and it's the wood that it's made of is something I've never heard of, Ayos wood. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's basically an African white wood. Unless you get the bass in the natural finish, which then it'll be a swamp ash finish. Excuse me, not finish, swamp ash wood. And the bass currently comes in, that I'm aware of 4 different finishes. The Olympic white, like you see here, a sunburst, black, and then that swamp ash natural wood finish. The bass, of course, it's your standard jazz bass, so you got 2 jazz bass pickups. They are not hum canceling, so you will get hum, and I do get, that's the one issue. I actually do have some issue with hum with this bass, but I haven't opened it up and checked all the wiring, and I haven't, one of the things I want to do is also shield the cavity and just kind of really check it out in that regard, but it is not hum canceling, so you will pick up some noise live, especially depending on the lighting and other things like that wherever you're playing. The one thing I do want to mention, and this was a surprise to me, was that the string spacing at the bridge is right at 18 millimeters. I actually was assuming that all jazz basses were more 19 millimeter spacing. And then I actually, after I realized that the string spacing on this was tighter than I expected, I actually did some research and realized, oh, I guess jazz basses are not all universally 19-inch string spacing. So there is a lot of variety there. A lot of them are 18 or 18 and a half millimeters. So they're not actually all 19, as I just naively assumed. So that's something to bear in mind if you like a wider string spacing on your neck. Actually, 18 is not too bad, and I've adjusted to it pretty well, but I think 18 and a half actually would be a good sweet spot there. But I do prefer 19. Most of the basses I play are more of a 19 string spacing, 19 millimeter string spacing. So bear that in mind. It is an 18 millimeter string spacing, and but otherwise it's very comfortable and easy to play. It's your standard bent plate bridge, all standard what you'd expect for a jazz bass. Now I am going to open this bass up, and we're going to take a look inside just to see what it's like behind behind the pick guard and the control plate. All right, so the neck on the bass is maple. And like I said, it is a gloss finish on the back, but I've already hit it with the Scotch-Brite pad to take that off. Seriously, you just take one of these Scotch-Brite pads. Usually get a 3-pack like this, a few bucks. Take these out, and you just literally rub the back of the bass with it for a while, and you will see some white residue collecting on the Scotch pad as you do that. That's that gloss finish being kind of buffed off. It's not really being sanded, it's more like being buffed off, because this isn't really sandpaper, but it's rough enough to take off that top finish that then smoothens it out. Is that a real word, smoothens? It makes it more smooth. And so, and since it is dust particles that you're creating when you rub that bass, if you want to do that outside, usually I do it outside so I'm not getting dust all over the place. If you need to wear like a mask or something like that, I guess you have to do that. I don't know, but I at least do it outside so that, so yeah, I'm not getting dust all over. And it's important to note when you're using the Scotch pad, I'll simulate this with a rag, but when you're rubbing the back of it, just kind of cup your hand a little bit, but don't like really grab the bass like that. Don't like grab it. Just kind of cup your hand, because you don't really need to get all the way to the sides. You just need to kind of get the back of the neck itself and just go the entire neck like this. just cupping your hand a little bit. And then that'll smoothen it out, and you'll be in good shape. And really, when you do that, it doesn't really cause any visual damage to the bass or blemishes. It just makes the neck slightly less shiny than it would be if it was still fully gloss. And the frets on the bass, everything feels good. There's no sharp edges or anything. The frets are very well done. They do feel a little bit bigger than most of the other frets on my other basses. So I do think that they're probably a slightly larger size, but I couldn't tell you offhand exactly what size they are, but they do feel a little bit bigger. Not by much, but they do feel a little bit bigger. It's got the black binding on the sides there, more like, I guess, paint. And of course the block inlays, they're not really inlays. Again, to me, they looks like paint. I could be wrong, but it looks painted. But still, it's a very nice look. So I think visually, it's a nice looking bass. The headstock on it, it's actually quite. This part here really jumps up like really high compared to most other jazz style basses, or definitely like a Fender doesn't have that big of a ramp up to the top of the neck. But otherwise, this kind of looks like you would expect of, like, say, like a Sadowski kind of style headstock. It just has this extra high hump there on the top of it. The tuners, again, you can see all the stickers showing you here, those made in Japan. But that's what the back of the tuners look like. Again, at some point going to replace those with ultralights, and that'll make the bass headstock a whole lot lighter and easier to manage on a strap and sitting down. Even when I'm not on a strap and just playing the bass sitting down, it still wants to kind of be neck heavy. So again, whether you play standing or sitting down, having lighter tuners will help out a lot. Yeah, the one thing to point out on the bass is this string tree. Kind of odd. Usually the string tree will grab that G string there, but it actually just catches the A and the D string. So kind of an unusual arrangement there, but there you go. All right, so I want to show you how the bass balances on a strap. And the first thing I want to say is, I know a lot of people will say, oh, if the bass doesn't balance very well, get yourself a 4-inch strap and that'll fix the problem. Just for the record, this is a 4-inch strap, and so it's nice and wide. And so I'm going to stand up and I'm going to show you how it balances on a strap. So first of all, I stand up. Now I let go of the bass. Automatically, you can kind of see, I try to hold it up like this. It kind of wants to drop down a little bit. If I didn't have a 4-inch strap on, it would definitely slide more down. Now, if I try to hold it up and it's pulling, it's wanting to go, if I hit it like that, it's definitely going down. Or other basses that are well balanced, I can sit there and whack on it and the bass will pretty much stay in place. Or if I have my hands out like this and I just kind of move up and down like this, you can see the bass sliding down. So yeah, that's shows you how neck heavy this bass is. So yeah, getting lighter tuners is definitely something I want to invest in to hopefully fix that problem. All right, and as a comparison for balance, this is my Fender Jazz bass, and it does have aftermarket ultralight tuners by Hipshot. So it's definitely a much better balancing bass. So I'm going to show you again on the same 4-inch strap what it's like balance-wise in comparison to my Fender Jazz bass. And I let it go, it does nothing. It slides a little bit down, but then once it gets to about this spot, I'm whacking on it and it's just, it doesn't go down any further. Also, if I hold it up like this, let it go, it stays in place. It doesn't have that small adjustment down that you saw on the Tagima. Also, if I hold it up like this and then I start bouncing up and down like I did with the other bass, it still stays up a lot better than the other bass. So you can definitely feel a difference. Again, it doesn't. All right, so let's talk about something that a lot of people will say, oh, this is not important to a bass. But it is to me, and I think it is to most buyers, and that is the aesthetics of the instrument. I mean, there's so many offerings out there. Why buy an ugly bass? There's no need to. So you can definitely find a good bass that both sounds good and also looks good. And so in this case of the Tagima, I think that it does look very good. It's a good looking bass in particular, and this may seem like really an odd thing to point out, but the body shape to me looks right. There's something about the body shape. It's very subtle, but it doesn't irk my OCD, I guess. And I think a lot of it's in the lower horn and just the kind of the shaping of the bass. Additionally, the coloring of the bass, because I've always wanted an Olympic white bass, jazz bass, and so this coloring looks correct, where a lot of times other jazz basses, let me move this out of the way here for you, because I'm going to bring in another bass. This is the other jazz bass in a white color that I've had for a little while now. I did a review on this bass. Here, let me move some stuff around here so I don't knock some stuff over. So I bought this bass last year. This is a fretless Sire bass. And I really like this bass. It has a wonderful neck on it. But look at that color. That's always been the thing that just annoys the heck out of me on this bass, is that yellowish, off yellowy white. I mean, it looks like plastic that sat out in the sun too long. It just really bugs me. But otherwise, it's just a fantastic bass. You can see the difference. You know, when I bought this bass, the pictures, it looked like this color of here was actually this color. So when you get the bass and you pull it out of the box, you're like, oh, it's yellow. I had no idea it was yellow. I thought it was supposed to be white. So here you can see the difference between, I guess they call this antique white, if I'm not mistaken, or this is an actual Olympic white. So whites online, when you're looking online at basses that are some variant of white coloring, it's hard to tell exactly what it looks like until you see it in person. And here's another white I'm going to show you. This is a good example because this is a more Arctic white, I guess you could say. Put it somewhere where I'm not actually banging up the instrument here. Just lightly set that down. So now you can see how white that is compared to this, compared to this. So very white. It's very bright white. This is a more, I guess, comfortable white. And then this is a more yellow white. So yeah, whites are always hard to tell online. This hopefully will give you kind of some idea of the different versions of white that you'll see on instruments and how they compare. The other thing I want to show is as I was mentioning, the shape of this instrument. The Tagima looks really good, where the Sire, as nice of a bass as this really is a fantastic bass. But there's just something about the shaping of, I don't know, there's something about the lower horn and the body just looks a little bit, I don't know, it just doesn't look like it's trimmed up correctly. There's just something about the outline of it that just looks a tad bit wrong. And I've never been able to put my finger on it. But when you compare it side by side, I know it's kind of hard on here, but I don't know. This bass, I just think the Tagima just looks a whole lot better aesthetic-wise on the body. I can't really explain it, but there you go. And since I was just showing you the Sire bass, which is a fantastic bass, you could kind of say this is a comparison of or you can compete with the Sire. But this bass is actually a lower price. The bass I was showing you was their V5 series. That's the fretless version that I have. But the V5 with frets is actually going to run you more money than this will. Comparison wise, the Sire is probably the better bass, and I think the V5 with the roasted maple neck is just to die for. It's a wonderful neck, but you're going to pay a little bit more for that bass. Other than that, I think they compete square on, head on with each other, and so this competes directly with the Sire, especially since the V5 is also a passive bass, volume tone, just like the Sire V5 is, but you're going to pay more for the Sire, and it's not going to look quite as good. All right, so this is the case for my Fender Jazz bass that came with the bass. Sorry about shaking the mic stand there, or the camera stand. So this bass, or this case, fits obviously the Fender Jazz that I have. If I put this bass inside, it fits down in there. The shaping, as you can see, how it has a little bit of a trimmer shape there. And that's kind of, I think, you got space here, you have space here, you have a little bit of space here, and otherwise it's pretty snug. And so you can see how that it's kind of like a Fender Jazz body, but it has a little bit of an extra trimming to it. It's a little bit, yeah, it's been a little bit more sculpted to be slightly, I guess, smaller actually. And so I think that's what looks good about it. It just has a nice streamlined look to it, which I really like. And so if we compare that to the Sire, which I was saying the body shape seems to bug me for some reason, it kind of fits. Oh, it's really snug because it's a bigger, a little, I mean, it just doesn't quite fit the same. It's almost like this upper horn doesn't kind of come out as far, and the bottom horn is definitely kind of seems wider that way. It's shorter and stubbier, not cut back as far this way. So that kind of shows you how they differ. Actually, the last time I tried to do this, it didn't actually even fit in. There we go. It's bigger. I can tell. I had to really kind of push it down in there because it's a bigger bass body than the Fender is. So that kind of gives you an idea how all jazz basses, even though they're the same general shape, they still have their, I guess, their own templates that they create for the bass. So they do vary slightly from one to the other. All the brands do. You could see also how this is perfectly cut to the jazz bass. So you could see how some of these had, you know, different, it didn't quite line up all the way in different areas because the bodies are a little bit different. This one also was a tighter fit in there than the Tagima. The Tagima seemed a little bit more sculpted. So yeah, not all jazz basses are the same. They all have their own unique profile. All right, I've got all the screws out of the pick guard. Let's go ahead and take this off, see what it looks like underneath the pick guard. Okay. I was wondering about that. Would you actually see the full route for the pick guard or not? And you do. So, and also what's interesting is you see, I don't know if you can see this on the camera or not, but you can actually see the difference between the white there and the white there. So with this pick guard on, blocking sun rays and everything else, and already you can see that it's discolored from the original white that it was into this more, it's starting to yellow a little bit. So I'm wondering, well, I think the bass is about 2 years old. I think when I looked up the serial number on it, I think it was roughly around 2 years old. So even though I mostly keep this away from sunlight, it's already discoloring a little bit. So there you go. But you can definitely see the route. My Fender Jazz also has this same route too. So if you were to play without a pick guard, that's what it would look like. Whereas other jazz basses, you don't see that root route. So yeah, you'll have to see that. There is, doesn't look like that's any kind of shielding. No, that's just the white of the pickguard of the bottom layer. So there's no shielding there on the pickguard. Looks like there might be some some paint there that might give some shielding. Don't know for sure. Let's go ahead and take out the screws here for the control plates. So there you go. That's what you got for the electronics. Definitely a lower cost set of electronics. You can tell by the smaller size. I've got the original control plate because I upgraded my Fender. Yeah, this is the original control plate from my Fender Jazz, my American Standard Fender Jazz. I upgraded it. So as you can see, the difference in the electronics, the better quality electronics are going to be larger pots, and also better quality jack, and also the wiring, I don't know, looks about the same. Usually the wiring is going to be a better gauge of wire, but otherwise, yeah, that's the difference. American Fender Jazz, Tagima import Jazz control plate. Like I said, it's painted in here, appears to be painted, so it's probably some mild shielding paint. Actually comes off on my finger. I don't know if you can see that. I can now take my fingerprint. So yeah, whatever's in there, it's kind of coming off almost like, it's almost like pencil graphite. That's interesting. I don't know much about the paints that they use for shielding. I've never used that before. I usually or have been using this copper foil tape. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. And like I said, even though this is a lower end electronics than on the that you find on higher end instruments like this, but I'm probably not going to worry about upgrading it because, to be honest, it sounds perfectly fine. And so yeah, I don't want to throw a lot of money into it if I don't have to. So I'll probably just keep the bass as is. But there you go. So our church had a big worship event. It's probably the biggest worship event of the year for our church, and involved worship team members from 10 different churches. It was a big event that we had. Lots of people are going to show up for it. So naturally, since I was playing bass for this event, I wanted to of course, sound my best, and could have played any of the different basses that I have, MTD, I could have played Lakeland, I could have played my Fender, a few other things I could have played, but in rehearsals it just seemed like the Tagima was actually fitting the mix the best. So that's the bass that I chose for this event. And this particular song, I'll play a couple songs from the event, but this first song that I'm playing actually uses the low B a lot, the open B string a lot in the song, so you can kind of hear the low B, and it kind of give you an idea how the low end of it sounds. So again, both of these songs features me on bass playing the Tagima bass that you see in this review.
They'll tell you, he's in the room. He's in the room. I have a treasure here in my heart, and in my weakness it won't depart. I have a Savior search the earth below, if I make my bed in hell, no matter where I go, where can I run from His Spirit? Where can I go from His presence? Even in the deepest depths, no matter where I go, if I search the heavens high, if I search the earth below, if I make my bed in hell, no matter where I go, where can I run from His Spirit? Where can I go from His presence? No matter where I go, no matter where I go, if I search the heavens high, if I search the earth below, if I make my bed in hell, no matter where I go, no matter where I go.
will turn into praise. Shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. Now all of my fear I will turn into praise. Shake off despair. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. Now all of my fear I will turn into praise. Shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. No, I won't be quiet. My God is alive. So how could I keep it inside? No, I won't be quiet. My God is alive. So how could I keep it inside? No, I won't be quiet. My God is alive. Oh, how could I keep it inside? I gotta praise the Lord, oh my soul. We worship you tonight. Come on, give him a shout of praise.
All right, so my final thoughts on the Tagima TJB-5 bass is that I like it a lot. It's a fantastic bass. It's a great value for the money. If you're looking for a sub $500 jazz bass that's a little different from your standard fare that's out there, definitely check this one out. They've also got a lot of other cool basses on their website, and so yeah, I think it's a brand to definitely get familiar with and see if it's something that you might be interested in. Hopefully this video has given you enough information about the bass as to whether or not it's something that you are interested in buying. It's, like I said, it's a brand I'd never heard of before until I saw the ad on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, what is this? And I had to Google it and find out, and that's where I saw the company's website and got more information on it. So it's not one that I've ever seen in a store before, at least where I live, so it's probably could very well be a new brand to you that you've never heard of as well. But definitely check them out, see if it's a brand that you might want to know some more information about, and if you see one for sale on the used market, or if you come across a new one in your local music store, try it out. You might like it because it's really a good bass for the price. I'm really happy with it, and I'm keeping it. So that's my review. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you'll subscribe and like this video if it's helpful for you. And yeah, thanks. Bye.